currently unavailable. The fuck? Okay. Docs. Chat. Son of a bitch. No, let's see. There we go. Now I can chat. Morning, Josh. I think you can hear me, but son of a bitch. Copy. We're gonna chat. Throw this one up. Top 10 stocks to buy. Put that in. And message. Morning, Wendy. Son of a bitch. Hit that thumbs up button. Because OBS I gotta bite the bullet and go with StreamYard or something. I mean, come on. Come on, it's ridiculous. Turn on Do Not Disturb. Literally, if I could show you my screen, I would. But OBS usually has this chat where I can chat back with you guys. And for some reason, the window doesn't show up. So, and I'm hoping this works because I changed some settings yesterday hoping that it would work. And it's just not working. I think I have to uninstall OBS and install it again. And that's just profiles and morning, Carrie. But we're gonna get going with some scans. Let's just go and scan shit. Cleveland Cliffs. Pan W. Over 200 again. By the way, let's just make that over $200, as I said when I bought the dip at 180. Boom. That's the core portfolio. I'm not gonna do that one. Let's look at there's any May 2025 buys. I don't think that there's any. I put this in May for the paid subscribers in the newsletter, and I scan against it every now and then, but and I guess the job numbers were good. I mean, let's see what the job numbers look like. Jobless claims dipped by 5K. So initial week list June 5th minus 5K to 240. Jobs market is good. I mean, that's, it is what it is, but God. Okay, nothing in that one. Let's go to energy. Energy's a good, no, nothing in energy that we track. Leveraged ETFs. We're going to put those in. ETFs, Coinbase long, short ARK, TMF, which I think is Treasury something. Yeah, 20-year Treasury. Interesting. Low cost Vanguard, anything? Probably not. They're all probably bullish anyway. Larry, nothing in there. Spider sectors, probably nothing. I can't imagine yet. I mean, we've been in this bull market, so good God. If Datadog, Coinbase, let's put in Coin is up another. Datadog, Dell at 116, Sentinel, Schwab at 88. I mean, Schwab, I was telling people last year to buy Schwab at 40, I remember. And I bet you didn't. I bet you didn't. Because the CEO bought a ton of it. Fortinet and PanW. Okay, let's go to the S&P 100. Deere, LMT, and Schwab. There you go. So we got the scans done. Go to the 4 hour and run that against the 20-year treasury, and boom, you've got yourself another leg up. Cleveland Cliffs up 1% after being the top performer in the core portfolio yesterday. I think it was up 4 or 5%. Have we reached a bottom? I need me 699. You're at 767. Not a bad 4 hour algorithm. You got a gap up here to about 832. I don't trust this name. Full disclosure, I don't trust this name. But I do think when you go back to pre-COVID in February, this is where the stock was trading. So we've made a full round trip all the way back, and the valuation is not crazy on this stock. YouTube is just creating a ton of ads, even on my live. Morning, Olga. First cup or second cup, Olga? I gotta move this, shrink this up a little so I can see your chats here. There we go. Cleveland Cliffs, it's a hold in the Quant. They changed their fonts, by the way, here on Seeking Alpha. I noticed that yesterday. The dark mode first goes light mode, and then they cover it with a dark mode. It's kind of weird the way it works. But the valuation is not bad. The profitability, it's bad. The momentum, it's bad. The revisions are bad. But you look at this 52-week range between $5.63 and $16, and it's still a good company. It's still, steel. It's ranked 18 out of 24. And MT and X, U.S. Steel is the number one. And just U.S. Steel is it's the number one because of the momentum. And it's been just 6 months up 71%. Oof. Okay, so what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about Palantir. And you saw how it goes white and then black. It's like it's an overlay kind of thing. I don't know. It's weird. James Ford, podcast friend, went over Palantir and just why it's overvalued, why it seemed overvalued at $20. And I think it's part of the education stuff is hey, how do you value a stock? And here's Bloomberg found a stock that is up 59,000%. That's not up $59,000. It's up 59,000%. Thanks to a 38-for-1 stock split. What is it? We'll look at that one. Marvell. Chips. This one just looks interesting on the chart. So I want to look at it from a fundamental standpoint and say, hey, is it good? Because this guy says, the numbers almost seem too ambitious. We'd love to see them outperform on near-term revenue rather than increase 2028 targets, but the opportunity is real and the stock should react. $78 price, $73 price target, and it's trading at $73. So I'm not sure why this person did that, but it's an interesting play because it's just been a bad one. And Anduril, Lucky Palmer's Anduril, I was on Spaces yesterday with Shai, and he had mentioned Archer, which I had mentioned before, is a great play on Anduril. And Anduril and Rheinmetall to build military drones. I mean, that is going to be the biggest IPO. You want to know which IPO to buy? That's the IPO to put on your calendar. I'm not sure when it's going to go, but Microsoft and AMD. I mean, I just should have bought it for Xbox. I just should have bought it for Xbox. AMD, I'm talking about. Meta used a $100 million signing bonus to lure away an engineer. I mean, that's just what it is. We're going to go over weekly candles. We went over yearly candles, then monthly candles yesterday. Today, we're going to do weekly candles. Don't forget the second half of the year with financials. And I have 3 that I own. I'll bring them up and we'll look at them. This is XLK. It hit an all-time high yesterday, all-time high. So it's outperformed. We'll look at it from a 1 year, 3 year, and 5 year, exactly midway through 2025. Here are your leaders in the S&P. Those are your leaders. And if you really want to know if World War III is starting, it's the Pentagon Pizza Report. I mean, literally, people are using the pizza report from the Pentagon. I mean, it's no joke. No joke. On Friday, they knew something was going on. They knew something was good. Pizza report. Stock index futures inch up ahead of the Fed's decision. We do have rate day. I am going to go over the first half of this podcast is going to be the top 10 stocks for 2025. So go and get your free 7-day trial on that one. In fact, I don't know. You know, maybe I should put I pulled up the, you know, we're going to do this. I'm just going to do it Twitter. Find out the top 2025 H2 stocks to buy now at the as did 2024 and 2023. Okay, let's just copy, paste, and then copy, paste. And I'm gonna do this. Copy link. We're gonna go over here and I've just got to get the link. Copy. This is the behind the scenes. And we'll put that link in there. Wow, that looks like a bad link. But I don't care. Nobody's gonna click on that thing because I didn't put keywords in there at all. Anduril, Lucky Palmer. I mean, the guy has the worst hairdo in Palmer Lucky. Sorry, it's Lucky. Why do I call him? Why do I do that? I need to correct my damn thing. I think, did I put up Palmer Lucky? Okay, yeah. I did. I put in my notes correctly, but Palmer Lucky. This is the guy who created Oculus. And when Oculus, the headset, got sold to Facebook, he was part of it, like $9 billion or something. And he created Oculus. Great, just technologist, this guy. Not hairstyle, but technologist, and just this horrible, horrible beard. But he's brilliant, and he's actually a fantastic leader. And remember, part of what you invest in a company is the leader. And he basically has been on this path since he left Facebook under very bad terms. I mean, he's only 32 years old, but he left under very bad terms where he just hated Zuckerberg. And he essentially went and I need to change the name here. Hold on. Lucky. He went and started this defense company. and after doing Oculus and having $9 billion. And he basically said, listen, why are we spending? Why is the U.S. spending $800,000 on a missile to shoot down a $2,000 drone? And he said there's got to be a better way. And remember the way defense companies work is the government takes on all the risk. So there is this payment to these companies. And if it goes over budget, then the company doesn't absorb the risk. It's the government. The government winds up paying the companies for the overage. And that's why defense stocks are very valuable, is because they're kind of a no-lose game as long as they get the contracts. So that's where Palmer Luckey is. And this Anduril is a phenomenal. They just released some of their new drones and some of their technology. It's amazing. This is going to be the hardware portion with some software. It's going to be Palantir kind of like. So I will absolutely be getting into that IPO if they offer it as part of a like sometimes Fidelity invites me to this stuff as to participate. So, but I like Palmer is one. I'm not 100% a fan of him. His arrogance and stuff, but I am a fan of him as a company leader and just as a seer and a doer. And, again, why do you invest in Elon Musk? Because the guy has done it before. So, you want that stuff. Remember, hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to start recording. I think it shouldn't be too long. Let me just see if there's something on FinViz. Now, why is the damn heat map getting blocked? Refresh. Oh. No. Is the heat map down or something? I don't know. Ugh. Sometimes I hate when this thing updates, and this is why I went to freaking Safari, but Safari doesn't do well with Trendspider. It is what it is. I don't see anything on FinViz. I mean, usually I go right down here. Paulson bought this Perpetua Resources company. Okay. Wah, wah, wah. I gotta get my water. Because the ASMR folks are out to get me. Okay. By the way, tomorrow, market's closed, just so you know. I should make mention of that. So, good morning. It is Wednesday, June 18th. It's hump day. Humpity hump, hump, hump. Got a big show. Top 10 stocks released yesterday. We will go over 2024, 2023, all of that. A ratings downgrade on IBIT. We'll talk about that kind of interesting stuff. Fed decision today at 2 p.m. Markets are closed tomorrow, so expect some volatility today. And then we talked about on Monday how Friday is a quadruple witching day, so you can look at that. We're midway through 2025. What are the winners? We will talk about financial stocks. We'll talk about Meta. We'll talk about single stocks. We'll talk about Marvell. Education time, a stock that is up 59,000%. 12 employees, no income. No revenue whatsoever. So we'll talk about all that stuff and more. The Qs, I mean, we're 4-hour chart. just went sideways. I mean, we're not doing anything. It's going sideways. And remember, you're very close to all-time highs. World War III started on Friday, and the market just says, yeah, you know what? We're just going to go sideways. So if World War III can't take us down, what can take us down? Well, there's going to be a few things that could take us down, but it doesn't seem to want to go up fast. You look at a weekly chart on this one. MACD, still a little extended over the oscillator, not too crazy extended. The last few times it was here, we continued higher. The RSI, 58. Bollinger Bands, wide open. So could we go higher? Absolutely. Should we shrink down? Maybe. It might be a sideways move. You're in the summertime. Remember, sell in May and go away. It's more about the volume levels. But there are so many large funds that are behind. They didn't get in April. They are behind. They are waiting to buy the dip. And what's a strategy that you can use? I said it yesterday. Go and listen to the top 10 stocks for the second half of 2025. It was what I expected it to be. Just a masterclass on how to pick stocks. Okay? As of June 9th, Seeking Alpha's Quant portfolio of the top 10 stocks for 2025 has outperformed the S&P. The top 10 stocks have gained 22% versus the S&P's 2%. That's since the beginning of the year. And you may say, well, he got lucky just in 1 year. Well, I'm going to put this in the newsletter as well. Here is 2024. Okay, that goes back 1 year. January 2024 to December 2024. How'd these top 10 stocks do? 125%. What was the S&P return? 25%. And you may say, yeah, 2 years no growth. Wow, that's great. Here is 2023. Total change. Remember, the S&P in 2023 was up like 20%. This was up 66%. Okay, so the top 10 stocks, it is worth it. Now, how do you get this? Well, I will tell you, if you don't want to buy Seeking Alpha, then the very least go to Linktree and click on this third link right there. Okay, you'll get $60 off, but the key point is you get a free 7-day trial. When you click on that link, you get a free 7-day trial. Go and look up the top stocks. Just go down here to the bottom left. You'll see a top stocks thing. Go and look up the top stocks in the Quant. Import your portfolio in here. I've got the top 2025 stocks as a portfolio. I also just put the portfolio in again. The top stocks today that he said for the second half. I put it in a portfolio. And I have it in a watch list in Trendspider so that technically I can find an entry. Did you buy any of them? If you did, let me know. What do you think of them? Send me an email, send me a comment, do anything. But again, a strategy doesn't always include, hey, I'm going to buy this and I'm going to research this. Sometimes it's just handed to you. And that's what the top 2025 stocks is. It's just handed to you. And you don't have to pay for it. It's a free 7-day trial. Remember, in this market, okay, make a list of 5 stocks that you will buy on any pullback. No questions asked. Doesn't matter about the valuation. Doesn't matter. Is it Palantir? Valuation super, super high. Is it Cloudflare? Is it CrowdStrike? Is it Palo Alto? Is it Nvidia? Make a list of 5 stocks that you will buy on a certain percentage pullback. You determine that. Is it 5%? Is it 10%? No questions asked. What's funny about the top 10 stocks, by the way, the top 10 stocks, what's funny about it, in the last day, I named one of them because I was researching Oscar Insurance. And this was the number 1 stock that I said, hey, this one might be better. I've also mentioned last year one of these stocks because it was a top stock here in the bottom left, just a top stock. Okay? At the time when we mentioned this, it was trading at $4 a share. FYI, it was just named a top second half stock. The price is $53 freaking dollars. So if you had bought this last year, $1,000 of this stock last year, just as based on a top quant stock, you'd have $10,000 at what, $15,000, some crazy number. But again, if you just bought $1,000 of it at $4, it's at $53. The non-subscribers of Seeking Alpha probably have never bought these stocks just because I mentioned them, because their research tools don't include the quant rating. That's been back tested and it outperforms the market. One that I'll tell you right now, I got an email this morning. IBIT just took a downgrade. It went from a strong buy to a buy. And yes, it flutters in between here. That may tell you that at $60, because the 52-week high is 63. But that may tell you, hey, maybe some profit taking is a strategy that you want to do. It was down 3.7%. It's down again. Is World War III starting? Maybe that's it. So why do you want the list of stocks? It's because you're in a market where Friday, it might have been the start of World War III. And did the market crash? No. I mean, it really didn't. You can see in the 4-hour algorithm, still have confirmation. We pulled back, we gained it. And then in the afternoon yesterday, we kind of went back to where we were on Friday. It's just fluttering. So if you have that list and you're organized, you're going to be able to make a decision quickly. And that's in this market a key point. Today we have a Fed decision. They had the meeting yesterday. You damn well know Powell hates Trump. Trump hates Powell. It's out there. They're not fans of each other. The Fed decision today comes at 2 p.m., press conference at 2:30. At 2 p.m., what will people be looking at? They'll be looking at the dot plot. Investors should focus on Powell's take on the softening labor market, the recent benign inflation prints, and the risk of persistent tariff-driven inflation. The committee's dot plot grid of individual members' rate expectations will be front and center. What the dot plot is, it's all the governors on the Fed. And it's, hey, how many rate cuts should we have? At the last update in March, the committee indicated the equivalent of 0.25% point reductions this year. So 2 this year of a quarter, not a half point, quarter, which is in line with current market pricing. So the market's saying, hey, we're going to have 2 rate cuts this year. Don't fight the Fed. It's a long-standing saying. However, that was a close call on that dot plot. Just 2 participants changing their approach would swing the median forecast down to 1. So if, for some reason, more governors think, hey, we haven't seen the impact of tariffs, you could have a dot plot that says, hey, we might only get 1 cut this year. The market's priced in 2. That will bring the market down. What do? You buy the damn dip. Okay? You buy the dip. Those 5 stocks, if it crashes, you buy the dip. Do you buy it today? I would say you nibble at it. I'm going to nibble at it. You know, one of the ways that you can actually start predicting things is pizza. You want to predict the prices? Pentagon pizza orders may hold the key. There is a pizza tracker, Pentagon pizza tracker on Twitter, and it actually predicted Friday. Go and follow the account. It's based on the pizza restaurants that are around the Pentagon, and as the orders go up, they say, ooh, it's going to be a late night. And what's the late night? Well, the late night is in the Middle East. So if for some reason we are going to do a raid or an attack on Iran, you damn well know people are going to order pizza. And by the way, I made a joke about this on Spaces yesterday. It's for real. It is absolutely a 100% account that tracks pizza orders. So there are strategies out there for you to do. Is this something that I'm taking seriously? No, because I am invested for the long term. If I'm invested for the short term, you better damn well know that I've got an alert for every freaking tweet that this report does. We're midway through. You're midway through 2025. Here are the best performers in the S&P. Do you hold any of them? Palantir, nope, I sold at 40. F me. NRG, nope, never owned it. HWM, I don't even know it. NEM at 58. My ass sold at 51. Philip Morris at 183. It's smoking. I don't want it. STX, 130. Dollar General is up 48%. And CVS, even with all their damn receipts, is at 66, up 47%. People were buying the dip on some of these stocks. And that's why they're up so much. So if you don't own any, don't feel bad. I have exposure to some of these in ETFs, but I don't own them outright. And I am underperforming the market. I am still negative this year because Apple is negative. I know exactly where my portfolio is, where my portfolio is inclined to do, and it's based on Apple. And so I'm underperforming. It doesn't feel good. In a market that just feels like a bull market and can't get pulled down, Apple is staying where it's at. That's it. Okay? And I want to focus on large cap tech, XLK. Okay, let's just go to the summary right here. It's a buy in the quant, but I want you to focus on this 52-week range right here. Okay, 172 to 243. That 243, it's an all-time high. Okay, let's look at the chart because I want to show you this chart. This chart from 199 here in April up here is a 25% move in an ETF that is a sector in 60 days. If you hear about tariff chip exports being limited, expect this one to pull back. So when you go to charting, let's just look at the summary. Okay, 6 months, it's only up 0.56%. 1 month, you're up 3.56%. 5 days, 0.5%. Year to date, it's only up 3%. But it had that massive move from April. And when you go to charting, what's interesting about this, and you compare it, when you compare it to the S&P, and I'm not going to change this, it's underperforming the S&P over 1 year. The S&P over 1 year is up 9.31%. Year to date, XLK is outperforming the S&P. But over 1 year, does it have room to actually catch up to the S&P? Because it's underperforming. So maybe it's still got room to run. But when you go to 3 years, okay, it's up 30% more. When you go to 5 years, it's up, what, 50% more? When you go to 10 years, it's up more than double. So tech, when you look at this ETF and you go to the holdings, it's Microsoft, it's Nvidia, it's Apple, it's Broadcom, it's Oracle. So even though Apple is its number 3 holding, this is doing far better than Apple. And you have Palantir exposure. You have Oracle exposure, which are outperforming. You have IBM and Cisco, which are outperforming. There is a large number of holdings in this, 72. So you have exposure. It is one of my favorite ETFs. Okay, I like this one. Is it perfect? No. But one of the other ones that I would push you towards is XLF. Because if you don't want to pick individual names, this one might be a good one for you. U.S. plans to ease capital rules on banks. Okay? And XLF is an ETF with the financials. And when you look at this, again, you're not close to your 52-week high. You're $2 off. It's at $50. So you still have some room to run. It's undervalued. It's a buy in the quant. When you look at the holdings, it's Berkshire Hathaway, it's JP Morgan, it's Visa, it's MasterCard, it's quality names, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs. By the way, those are the three that I own outright: Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Goldman Sachs. When you look at this one against the S&P over 1 year, it is outperforming. It's doubling it over 1 year. It's doubling it over year to date. When you go to 3 years, it's equaling. Okay, when you go to 5 years, it's just slightly overperforming. 10 years, it's underperforming. So again, does this have more room to run? The banks, if you can find good ones at good prices, and how do you find good ones at good prices? Well, Goldman Sachs was my most recent purchase under $500, and it's at $624. And that under $500 came from the 4-hour algorithm in Trendspider. It was very simple for me. This is a quality bank. I said, you know what? At some point in time over the next year, banks are going to become deregulated. And I made this statement many times. I just decided, you know what? I'm putting 6 figures into this one, and I did. It was one of those in the core portfolio that I didn't own and I liked, and it just seemed too low. And if you don't have Seeking Alpha, one of the things that I tell people is go to FinViz. And look, the one thing I know about banks is the book value, okay? $354. During 2022, I think it was, this stock, many of the banks were trading below their book value. And one thing that anybody in the financial sector will tell you who's an expert, and I listened to them and I read them, if a stock is trading below its book value, go and get it. And look at Citigroup. Book value is 103. There are other issues with Citigroup, but it's the one major one that's trading below its book value. And when you look at its high of 83 and it's trading at 77, you have some upside. And if the banks get deregulated, then that might be a good one. Again, I don't own that one. There are reasons why I don't own it. But I own Goldman Sachs, I own Wells Fargo, and I own Bank of America. Now, I want to go to QQQ because Monday we went over yearly charts, which showed a crazy bull market. And we can show it right here. We went over, QQQ in a yearly chart. That's it. Would you buy that on a 1-minute candle on an IPO? Probably, because you have confirmation. Okay. Then yesterday we went to monthly charts and we showed you're still in a bull market. You still have confirmation. December highs and stuff like you can see, we're still there. It's not quite at an all-time high, but we're there. But now let's go down to a weekly candle. What do you see on a weekly? Well, you still see the bull market. You still see us moving up towards that all-time high. You see the MACD. As you get down towards weekly, these indicators have a little bit more factor in them. Okay, RSI, it's at 58. Last time it was at 58 down here in September. We continued higher. The MACD was significantly higher at that point, 11 points over the oscillator. Today, it's at 7 points over the oscillator, so you could go higher. So again, whittle down these candles, and we'll just go to SPX. This is the S&P 500, and we'll do the same kind of thing. We'll just go down to a weekly candle, and you can go and look at the monthly and the yearly on that one. But same kind of thing. Again, the oscillator is only 46 points above the MACD, the oscillator. It was 172 points above back in December when we hit all the all-time highs. These things reset, so it's interesting. We're in an AI market. And you know how we know that we're in an AI market? Because Meta is paying $100 million signing bonus to poach OpenAI employees. That's how you know we're in an AI market. When Zuckerberg is willing to say to his HR department, go and pay $100 million and let's get these guys over so they can help us make Llama, OpenAI. Because remember, OpenAI, we went over it yesterday. It is the product launch of the history of the world. And Meta Just crossed 700 yesterday. And yes, I bought down here 521. It was one of the stocks that I said, hey, when this move starts up and I get confirmation on this, I am going to start buying. Did I buy it at 575? I did small. I think I bought at 550 where you start right before the earnings. I just loaded into this one. So I have a big position in this. Again, you're in an AI market. So I like this one. Do I love this one up here at 700? It's not my favorite at 700, but if I don't have a position and I have to buy it, the 52-week all the way goes up to 740. So you know if it's got 740. Now, would I add in at 700? I probably would. I mean, again, I have a position in this. It's a fairly large position, and I own it through ETFs. So I like it. But when he's using $100 million to poach employees, you know he's looking to be the leader in AI. And there's a whole bunch of meta news out there about new glasses and stuff like that. And Microsoft is in the news about OpenAI and their relationship with that, but they're going out, and I should have bought AMD. They announced, hey, AMD partnered with AMD for multiple devices, including the next generation Xbox console. And I will be buying that Xbox console. I'm a 54-year-old guy who wants to freaking play Madden football and EA Sports golf and hockey and F1 racing. And so I own Microsoft. I own Microsoft for years. And we're at all-time highs, 478. You look at this one. Microsoft, right here. It's a quant. It's a hold. Wall Street says it's a strong buy. $514 price target. That's still 7% upside. But your all-time high is 480. You're trading at 478 right now. So if you haven't gotten into this one, I don't know that you necessarily want to get into this one. But AMD, on the alternate side, it's between 76 and 187. It's still expensive. Wall Street thinks that it's worth $130. That's 2% above. But within the last year, we've gotten to 187. Are the analysts off sides? I don't know. But I know this one, from a technical perspective, super strong. And like I said, I think that 160 to get into that gap, I think that one gets there from 127. Now, full disclosure, do I own this one? No. I have exposure through ETFs. My two chips that I own are Nvidia and Credo. That's it. But again, I should have bought AMD just based on the Xbox stuff. So, again, I like it. Now, I went to FinViz yesterday. I was on Spaces with Wolf, and I went to FinViz, and I said, and they were talking about, World War III. So that got me up, and I said, you know what? I want to go over here, and I want to look at the S&P 500. So I go to index, and I go to industry, and I go aerospace and defense. Okay, there's 12 names in aerospace and defense. They're all up. Just so you know, they're all up. And I went to, okay, let me see how many are priced below their 50-day. Let me just see how many are priced below their 50-day. There's none. There is none. There are no stocks. And again, this isn't a paid tool. This is just, hey, World War III is breaking out, and defense stocks may be hot. There are no defense stocks in the S&P 500 below their 50-day. So you take that off. And then you say, well, the long term, let's see if there's any price below their 200-day. Lockheed Martin and Textron. So let's look. Is Lockheed Martin a buy? Well, let's look. LMT, look at that fall from 618, and you're trading at 497. And yet, it still seems pretty good. Now, I don't know defense stocks, so I'm going to go to Wall Street and I'm going to say, okay, what do they think it's worth? They think it's a 10% upside here. And you can analyze it with AI. If you're into this type of stuff, you can do it. Boeing has been shooting up. Northrop Grumman shooting up. RTX shooting up. So all of those are trading better. And you can read about the risks on LMT. And then, let's go and look at the other one. TXT. I know nothing about these stocks. Now, am I getting into these? No. I'm not a defense guy. But TXT, you can see, year to date, it's only up 0.48%. Over 1 year, you're down 10%. But this one doesn't look great from a quant standpoint. It's a hold, 2.96. That's not something I want to look into. Average price target, $86 from the analysts, from the monkeys. And you're right in the middle of your 52-week range. So again, you don't need the paid tools to do this kind of stuff. But I brought up Archer, okay? ACHR. Because I said, hey, this is a flying car stock. I was on Spaces with Shai Bular, the man with 90 million titles because he changes his title every time. But he brought up yesterday Archer, and I kind of, my ears perked up a little bit. He said Archer is a stock that's tied to Palmer Luckey Anduril. Palmer Luckey Anduril, if you don't know, go and Google it. It's a private company. Anduril is a defense company. And that's why I was looking at defense companies. And then when Shai brought up Archer, I said, ooh, that's interesting. They are buddies. Okay? Palmer Luckey and Anduril work with Archer. Now, this one is a crazy they're not making money. When you go to the financials, they have all of $133 million in actual, they don't have revenues, but they're spending money. So this is a YOLO one. And it's between $2 and $13. Okay. Wall Street, there are 9 analysts that cover it. They think it's $11. That's a 20% upside. So it's a YOLO. But when Shai said, hey, they have ties to Palmer Luckey, that piqued my interest, and I said, ooh, maybe this is one that I want to find an entry on. So I'm going to find a strategy that works with Archer Aviation. And maybe it's my 4-hour algorithm. But now I want to get into this one. Anduril and Rheinmetall to build military drones for European markets. And again, the CEO of Anduril is Palmer Luckey. I like Palmer Luckey. I'm going to invest in Palmer Luckey. And when I look at this one, I say, you know what? 4-hour algorithm makes me 118% versus 220% buy and hold. I'm going to look at buying this one the next time it gives me an entry. Simple as that. And I'm not going to put, I'm not going to go balls deep on this one, but I am going to go into this one. So I between that and the play like that, I like this one. Again, I like Anduril, so Archer might be coming in. Now, another one. This is an interesting one. Marvell. It's a chip. I don't like this one. But what's interesting about this, analysts praise their custom AI event announcements. And this particular quote got to me. The numbers almost seem too ambitious. We'd love to see them outperform on the near-term revenue rather than increase their 2028 targets. But the opportunity is real and the stock should react. According to Moore, who has an equal rate rating and a $73 price target on Marvell, the key takeaways from the event: an increase to total addressable market. Marvell is going 20% of the market with more than 50% of data revenue, blah, 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 blah. The Microsoft Maya project remains at risk, blah, blah, blah. And there is at least one XPU attached socket to Amazon's Trainium 3 processor. I have no idea what all that means. But a $73 price target and it's trading at 73? It's kind of interesting. Now, this one, Marvell's view XPUs is multi-billion-dollar lifetime revenue. Design wins over 1.5 to 2.5. Wins at $100 million lifetime revenues. Blah blah blah. Lepakis. Who is Lepakis? It's up here. But they have a outperform with a $133 price target. So what do the monkeys think that it's worth? 89 on average. It's a 27% upside. When you go and look at the 52-week range, you're on the lower end of it. But it's still super expensive. Just understand, go and analyze with AI, and it will tell you why it's expensive. Its EBITDA is 35, significantly higher than the sector of 17, reflecting an expensive stock. The price to sales ratio of 9 is also much higher than the sector median of 3. So maybe you don't like this one. Maybe you want something else. Well, Credo's my number, the one of the ones that I own. Taiwan Semi. Rigetti, which is quantum computer. Okay, Broadcom, which is number 9, which is one that I want to get in. But I thought that one was interesting. And again, you can kind of take a look at the chart. Marvell is just one that if you can find a strategy to find an entry and buy the dip on this one, maybe it's a good opportunity because you're right at the 200-day on the weekly chart. But again, it's not my thing. I own Credo and I own Nvidia as far as chips, just to be perfectly clear. Now, bit of education time, okay? I was on Instagram yesterday, and this is Morning Brew, okay? This stock is up 59,000%. This 12-person company incorporated in the Cayman Islands isn't exactly the dream of what Warren Buffett dreams of, okay? The Financial Times spotted a company called RegenCell Bioscience, a Hong Kong-based biotech developing Chinese herbal remedies to treat ADHD and autism. What makes the little-known stock so interesting is that it has exploded 15,000% just in this year. No sales, FYI. No sales, and 12 employees. So, per Bloomberg, only 6% of the shares are available for public trading. This is what CoreWeave is going through. It's a short squeeze, okay? When they get any type of press, it's a short squeeze. And it's a Hong Kong-based stock. I guess it's on the Nasdaq, RegenCell Bioscience. Let's go and see if we can find it. Cell Bioscience, RGC. There it is. That's crazy. Year to date, 59,000%. Now, it's not covered by the Quant, and you can go research it. Let's see if Trendspider has it. I haven't looked it up yet. RGC, there you go. I mean, crazy. Crazy. Oh, why do I have that? Is that on the weekly? Oh, I guess I've covered this one before. Not even knowing about it. But 92 cents, the 4-hour algorithm had you in. FYI, you're trading at $78 right now. But it is simply a short squeeze. Again, when something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Would I suggest trading this one? No. The market cap has soared to $37 billion. 38 for 1 stock split on Monday sparked a 434% surge. It's more valuable than Prudential, Lululemon, and SMCI. And this is the big short. Hey, there's a bubble. This is a short squeeze. This is nothing more than there's not enough stocks to actually sell. So if you get into this one, I mean, look at the volume there. The volume should tell you the story. People were getting out, by the way, up until freaking June 13th. And then the stock split happened and it just started rallying. Now, what are they going to do? They're probably going to devalue the stock and just issue more stock at that price. But you've gone all the way up to $83. Now it's at $64. It's 17%. Don't get sucked into this. This is if you are experienced trading, go and have at it. You want something like this. Just make sure that your broker, I would buy 1 share of it and then sell 1 share of it just to make sure that you can fill that order and how fast it takes. Because you only have, let's see, volume 180,000 shares. The volume level was 180,000 shares. So it is a very, very small amount of shares, even with their 38-to-1 split. It's education time. No sales, 12 employees. So there's no income whatsoever. That's it. I mean, it's as simple as that. You can make money trading it, but no sales. Now, another one. We talk about overvalued in the market. Sometimes the market just looks past that. And here's a great article, a great analysis from podcast friend James Ford. Mr. Market is forcing my hand. It's a great article. I read it just last night. it goes over how it seemed overvalued at $20. And I went over this, how this stock just seems overvalued at $20. And I never got back in. I absolutely never got back in. I wish I had, but I never got back in. I never got the chance to get back in. And so this article goes over it. Now, Palantir is in the core portfolio. Like I said, I own this through XLK. I own this through QQQ. I own this through VOO. I own this stock just through ETFs. And I am never betting against this one. But if this one comes back down to the 120 and even to the $80 mark, 120 has been a recent support, I will start adding to it. And that's my strategy for that one. Now, I did some scans, and there's some entries in the 4-hour algorithm. One is Cleveland Cliffs. It got you in here at $6.99. You're at $7.67. Okay? And now, this is an important level. Why? Because when you go back to the pandemic, right before the pandemic, where was it trading? Around $8. Has the company done better after the pandemic? Well, it shot up, and then it's just been a downward trend. But if you can regain some type of positive momentum, I think you get to 12. And why 12? Because pre-pandemic, right before the pandemic really started affecting this in July 2019 and stuff, this was a $12 stock. And their CEO I like. One that I own, and I was telling folks, buy the dip after the earnings. Buy the dip. It got all the way down to 178. I bought some. Palo Alto Networks. Got you in at 192. It's trading over 200. Do we want this one? Palo Alto Networks is a bit expensive. Okay, I own 2 cybersecurities. It is CrowdStrike and Palo Alto Networks. My dad owns Fortinet, so I do manage that position as well. I like this one. Largest cybersecurity company. It is 11 out of 45. There are others that are higher. Microsoft, Rubrik, Zscaler, CrowdStrike, CyberArk, and then Palo Alto, and then Oracle. Again, it's lumped in there with software stocks. But it's a hold. What does Wall Street think that it's worth? They think it's worth $211. Well, what's his 52-week high? 208. So at some point in time, you have to trim this one, because if you look at the actual weekly chart, you can see over that 188, which is a previous all-time high where it pulled back in 2024, you haven't been able to hold that. So I will be looking at trimming, even though I still think that this is a great stock. I will be looking at trimming. Now, there's Dell, there's Datadog, there's Sentinel, there's Schwab, there's Fortinet, there's Deere, there's LMT, Lockheed Martin, there's double leveraged Coinbase, there's a short on ARK. All of these have entries in the 4-hour algorithm. If you want the 4-hour algorithm, you can get it. Trendspider, you can get a discount just by using my link right there, $50 a month. Again, I showed you how I use all of this. The key point today is going to be, if you want a strategy, it's the top 2025 stocks, and you just use this link to go over to Seeking Alpha. Again, a free 7-day trial. Now, I would urge you, the better deal is the bundle deal. Okay. And I know I mentioned this a lot. The bundle deal with Alpha Picks. Alpha Picks is a data-driven portfolio, provides a clear source of stocks to buy and hold. Since its launch in July 2022, the Alpha Picks portfolio has shown a total return of 172% versus 59% for the S&P. You get the full research reports. You get alerts when to sell. Okay? Everybody loves that damn portfolio. I do. I just made 2%, almost 3, I think it was 2.7% on the 15th. On the 16th, Monday, when they released it at noon. I just scalped it. And then I bought back with the proceeds that I made from that. I bought back my main position. So it cost me nothing. Again, a strategy that I'm implementing. It's just as simple as being organized and understanding, and managing your portfolio is not that hard. You don't need a lot of work on doing it. And by the way, if you can't figure out single stocks, buy ETFs. VOO and chill is a real strategy. I have friends in high net worth groups who just have VTI, VOO, and several other ETFs, like 3 or 4 ETFs, and that's their entire portfolio. And we're not talking they've got a play account where they do single stocks. We're talking the entire portfolio. They don't deal with stocks. It's just, hey, I made this amount of money this year. I'm going to invest this amount. So again, what you want to do is your own thing. Manage your own portfolio. That's it for the podcast today. The stock market is closed tomorrow. I may have something for the paid members on the newsletter tomorrow. All of the scans and everything will be in the newsletter today. It is free, dailystockpick.substack.com. You can get to it here on Linktree, but again, it is free. So get it while you can and go and look at the scans, go and look at the top 2025 stocks. It's all going to be in the newsletter. If you have any questions, you can simply reply to the newsletter or go over here to Linktree. Even my email address is in the upper right. I have a private Facebook group. You can follow me on X. In fact, yesterday on X, while I was on that Spaces thing, I was actually doing some scans. And I found a couple of stocks. One, MXC. It was up 40% yesterday. And that's just from a scan that I did on, hey, give me stocks that are up. MXC was one. And I said defense stocks. I want to scan for defense stocks. Another one that was up was PR, Permian Resources. And look at that run. So Trendspider gives you a great opportunity to actually find runners. So if you have any questions on Trendspider, again, sign up for Trendspider. It makes no sense to me why people will listen to me other than, hey, I want to learn on the free tools. Because remember, I had free tools for years and I did fine. But the paid tools, they just save me so much time. That's the basis of it. And again, a strategy that I've implemented that has worked, and you will see it in the returns, is these top stocks. And they're giving it to you with a free 7-day trial. So why people aren't clicking on that and getting a free 7-day trial, I'll never know. Why I don't have tens of thousands of people clicking on that and just getting a free 7-day trial, I don't know. Maybe you're just against making money. But it's a free one. So if you have any questions, hit me up. I'll talk to you Friday. Quadruple witching day. Take care. See you. Bye. And roll. Morning, Eli. Morning, AJ. Eli, you got to flex that buy and hold muscle. What I would do, Eli, if you have a problem buying and holding ETFs, do what I did. Set up a Webull account. I mean, just set up a separate account. And just don't, once a year, just go in there and actually say, okay, I made this much money. I'm going to invest this much money in ETFs. And don't look at it. Do not look at it. I mean, I look at my Webull account often, but I do have the buy and hold muscle. I've just learned over the years the buy and hold muscle actually works. But my Webull account's at 12.3. So it's not bad. I'll take it. Let me throw this into iMovie. Edit this mofo together. Why? Man, for some reason, YouTube is like blacked out on my screen. And now I'm getting an ad again. Now I'm live. God. Man, YouTube on my iPad and I think it's I have to probably update the app, to be honest with you. It's probably more my problem than it is YouTube's problem. Because I would have you people complaining if you were having the problems that I've had. Let's see. Okay. We're going to take out that 1 second. Okay. And we're going to put in this. And that's green screen. Copy. I actually went on longer than I thought I would today. I looked at the what I had in the morning, and I thought, ooh, I don't have that much. But I did go over quite a bit. Export file. 12:18. Oh no, 6:18. Pod. I don't save these things. I don't know why I do that. Yeah, SPLG. That's probably a SPLG. Yeah, that's just a Spider portfolio ETF. I mean, that's exactly. But I would, Dominic, let's say, expenses. So expenses 0.02. Okay. VOO. Oh, that's even less. 0.03. Ooh, this might be a better one than. Interesting. Tracks right along. It's underperforming the S&P a little bit. Overperforming year to date. Huh. Let's add in VOO. So VOO is underperforming SPLG 1 year to date. 1 year, 9.32. 3 year. SPLG is a good one. Interesting. Well, it's outperforming VOO. I might have to add SPLG. Dominic, you may have just schooled me. I have to do MSCI. I think that's defense stuff. I do have to. I mean, I'll show you the secret sauce. Do copy link. This is just changing it so that my affiliate link is in the articles. Instagram, then we have another Seeking Alpha. This is part of the special sauce that sucks. Okay. Oh, why did it do that? Oh, Motorola. Ooh, that's a tough one to get excited about in 2025. Oof. Yeah, Dominic, I mean, that's a winning strategy. Yeah, I don't understand why people wouldn't just take this free 7-day trial, even if they just want to use FinViz and the free tool. But I mean that, and I talk about strategies a lot. I wish in my 20s I had a VOO and chill kind of strategy, you know, and then took some YOLO positions like Apple and stuff like that. I don't know that my psychology would have been the same as like, okay, let me buy and hold this one. Like Apple and Microsoft and all of that stuff. I don't know if VOO, if I had seen like, okay, let me do a research of my my portfolio against this. I don't know if it would have been like mind altering. Okay, so the Nasdaq is up 0.1. Is that right? Yeah, 1, 2. I'm up 0.08. So year to date, I mean, just 1 year I'm killing. I mean, even over 3 years, I'm down. But I took some money out to invest in real estate. I became a loan shark. Eli, so I'll give you a Motorola story. So, no, I'm sorry, it's Qualcomm. Qualcomm and Motorola, both of them came in, I think it was early 2000. And I was working for Cox Communications, and they came in and they said, I think it was it might have been 1998. I started working for Cox in 1996, and one of the things that we were launching was this Sprint PCS. It was a mobile phone service. And Motorola and Qualcomm were the two kind of main stocks. And the guy from Motorola comes in and he goes, yeah, we're killing it, blah, 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 the whole thing. And the guy from Qualcomm came in and did the same thing. So I was like, let me look at it. And I never bought it. But here in 1997, okay, this chart is between $2.41 and $4.42. Now, when you get to 1999, okay, and this was the crazy part, and this taught me the power of just some of these stocks, was I met with the Qualcomm guy, and yeah, Sprint PCS, exactly. So I met with the Qualcomm guy, and he goes, dude, just buy our stock. He goes, you know, I said, well, it's doubled. I said, I don't want to buy it at 52-week high. At $4. I remember it was like $4. And I remember thinking, I'm a genius because it dipped down. $10,000 in a $4 stock, okay? It wouldn't have cost me that much. I mean, I had $10,000. It wasn't going to be anything, you know. Even at that time, I had money, $10,000 to put into a stock because I put it into, you know, Apple at that time. So I know I had the money. $4. This candle in 1999 goes up to $92. $10,000 would be $200,000. I mean, we just, you know, we looked at ourselves when it went up there. And I know some people, some of the guys I worked with, they started buying in at like, you know, $70 and $80. And they were hurting the next year when it dipped down to $25. I mean, that was 2000. And it took until 2019 to get back to the $80. 19 years. So I do know a thing or two about, hey, there's bubbles. There's ways of doing this, but I thought it was interesting. So I've been kind of scared of Motorola and Qualcomm ever since, and I haven't. Qualcomm is in the core portfolio, and the reason it's in the core portfolio is because they have, again, since 2020 when I started this podcast, 2020 its low was 58, and its high was 161, and right now it's trading at 154. It's just been dead weight, and it's very similar to where I saw it at this point. And so without the growth of AI stuff, I mean, you know, Qualcomm's in self-driving cars. It's in Android phones and Snapdragon. But I'm an Apple guy, so I don't own this one, but it has been in the core portfolio. Let me see. I think it's done well in the core portfolio, to be honest with you. Let's see. We're going to go to gainers. total. And we're going to list this. Let's see. Where is Qualcomm? We'll just go to Q. There's Qualcomm. It has 29%. So it's made 29% since, let's see, June 20th, 2023. So 2 years. 2 years, 30%. Yeah. Yeah, Motorola. I mean, Motorola is just one of those stocks that I had a Motorola phone. I don't want a Motorola phone now. And so it was a Motorola flip phone, I think, with T-Mobile service. So essentially what happened, so I launched Sprint PCS in, I think, 1997, 1998 in California for Cox. I was working on the internet and kind of the advanced product bundle with Cox. I was just a marketing guy, by the way. I just, was responsible for sales of this stuff. But I also had an interest in the hardware, so I would work with the technical guys. I mean, I was just a marketing guy who just knew about this stuff. And so a lot of this stuff was where I got my large cap tech stuff. And hey, Apple's coming. But in 2003, Cox closed the office that I was working in Palos Verdes. And they said, hey, you can take 1.5 years severance, or you can go work 60 to 80 hours a week at one of our other locations in Vegas, Virginia, Kansas, or Rhode Island, I think were the places that they offered me. And I said, I'm going to take the severance. So I had to buy my own phone at that point. And so I went and got a Motorola flip phone in New York City. And I just remember, I think it was like $20 a month, 25, maybe it was $50 a month, but I was getting severance, so I didn't care. But I had a mobile phone. And I remember you had to text using the damn 1 through 9 kind of thing. And it was just annoying. So I didn't text. Nobody texted back then. But I specifically remember going into New York City to buy the phone. And the guy telling me, do not leave this phone on the counter. You need to have it in your hand the entire time, because people, just the guy behind you is looking to grab the phone and run away. And he goes, you have purchased this phone already. I just charged your credit card. It is yours, even though we have to activate it. Just make sure it is not out in the open. And it was one of those shady kind of shops in New York City. So... okay, Canva, let's go. I already did the thumbnail, so I just need to download this. And then I'm going to get going, because I got to get this started. There we go. Okay, I'm out of here. You guys have a great day. Old school texting, yeah. I loved my flip phone. Honest to God, I really liked my flip phone. I wasn't against it at all. I enjoyed it. Okay. Take care. I got to do stuff on the screen now that should not be shown. Money involved and shit like that. So, okay. See you guys.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow.
God, I hate
Taking
this.
risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer,
Never
no room
works.
for any less. Listen now.
Okay, I'm out. See you guys.